race around the world as it enters the final stretch. Tonight, Kim Traill contemplates life as a shepherd's wife in Kyrgyzstan. Ben Davies wrangles with alligators, anacondas and piranhas with the cowboys of Venezuela. And we'll be seeing John Safran's guide to making a successful application for race around the world. With us, as always, are three titans of film, documentaries and journalism who'll be handing out points out of 20 for each film. Co-created with Robin Anderson of Black Harvest and the great Rats in the Ranks, a man who is like the bloody Sergei Eisenstein of Australian docos, Bob Connolly. Also backed by popular demand, a woman who's spent a long time at the top of Australian film, director of Malcolm, The Big Steal and the upcoming feature film Amy, Nadia Tass. And the hottest TV critic ever to emerge from the intellectual ferment of Wagga Wagga, the people's hero, Tony Squires. Kim Traill continues to follow her strange passion for the road less travelled, for crippling 16-hour bus trips and for flying the kind of airline which takes livestock in the cabin. Moving on through Central Asia, she took a 4-hour international taxi ride for $5 from Kazakhstan to Kyrgyzstan.
This is kumis, and it's the Kyrgyz national drink. It's actually made from fermented horse's milk. This stuff I can handle, but I think I'll pass on the stuffed sheep's intestines that they're making for dinner tonight. The Babakanovs were rather bemused by the concept of vegetarianism.
Мясо будете есть, да? Говядину?
Нет, не буду, не буду.
Ну как же, только птичьи, что ли?
Птичьи нету.
Птичьи тоже, курицы тоже нету.
Курицы тоже нету.
Научим. Научим, да.
Kumchibek Babakanov is 61 years old. His wife Shair is 60, and they live in a village on the banks of Lake Issyk-Kul.
Мы еще вместе учились в техникуме, медицинском техникуме. После окончания техникума мы поженились. После женитьбы прошло уже 40 лет. Но сколько бы лет ни прошло, мы живем дружно, имеем детей, 5. Но однако я никак не хочу с ней разводиться. Я сколько ей предлагаю разводиться, но вот она не соглашается. Почему не соглашается, не знаю. Может, раньше, до реформы, в бывшем Советском Союзе жилось хорошо. Все было обеспечено. До пенсии я работал, значит, в отрасле-сельском хозяйстве. В течение 37 лет я трудился беспрерывно. Но я думал, что до пенсии, после выхода пенсии, я буду отдыхать, нормально отдыхать, нормально совместить себе образ жизни. Но однако, после начала реформы, мне было очень тяжело. Во-первых, пенсия оказалась очень низкие, около 300 рублей сумму получаю. Это полученная мною пенсия ни на что не хватает. Мне приходится трудиться от начала, от 6 часов до 8, до 9 часов вечера. Не прикладаю руку.
They've only got one son, Ulan, who can help them with the farm work. He's 21. Guliza's 18, and she only met Ulan on the day they got married. It seemed one of their relatives had a similar idea in mind for me.
Невест крадут, знаешь?
Да.
Да, вот. Сейчас тебе мешок, тебя, с аппаратурой, со всеми, и все, замуж выдадим. Украдем, и выйдешь замуж. А выйти нельзя уже тебя. По обычаю не положено. Вот и останешься. Мясо научишься есть. На коне будешь ездить.
Да? Ну, неплохо.
Кобыл будешь доить. Кумыс будешь делать. Вот такие
Ковры.
ковры будешь, шердаки, да.
Сырдак. Это значит, я больше не поеду.
Детей нарожаешь штук 10.
10 детей?
Да, ну 15.
I'm really not sure about the idea of 15 kids, but I can think of worse places to live than here in Barskoon. Kumjibek and Shahir don't know if they'll ever get the peaceful retirement that they were once dreaming about. But they're hopeful.
В дальнейшем будет еще лучше, прекрасная жизнь. И живем хорошо.
And that was Kim Traill in Kyrgyzstan. Now, Kim herself was judged to be top bride material by the locals, and her parents were offered 9 horses, 9 cows, 9 sheep and a goat for her hand in marriage. Bargain. Bob.
Well, I think that was superb. Kim just gets better and better. I mean, her camera work is terrific. Her structure is terrific. Her respect for the people is great, and it's reciprocated. And what I really like is the way that she's dealing in a sense with exotica, but she's connecting us to it. And instead of sort of using it for its shock value, she's taking us inside. I mean, and the device of what she'd have to do, you know, as a wife was a wonderful way of showing us just another set of insights. Now, I mean, I'm giving this 20.
20?
Yeah.
Wow. The laconic stylic humour, it was almost Australian in those guys too, wasn't it?
Oh, it's superb stuff.
Yeah.
I think she just gets better and better.
OK, Nadia.
Oh, I think it was great. I think her camera work was really good. The content, the rhythm, the choice of shots. I think the story was simple and simply and beautifully told. She remains open. And I think the juxtaposition of the couple against the photograph, where you see the lack of stress in their lives, they look exactly the same as what they did in the photograph. 18.
18. Tony.
Yeah, I gave it 17. I thought it was great as well, and I can see why they need to steal their wives. If the bloke who was cruising hers going, woof. But it's a classic Kim film in which, you know, she bonds with these people and they never want to let her go, really, is the way she's been going. And in some ways there's a sameness about her films, but that's not a criticism given the way she does get into these people's lives. And beautifully shot again. OK, that gives us 55 points for Kim Traill. Bentley Dean left Boston for Havana, Cuba. After starting his story there, he was crushed to find that his camera had been stolen, leaving him stuck until we could get a spare one over to him. So this week we're playing his backup film that he made in Thailand, a story of a 15-year-old girl who, it seems, never had a chance.
And recently I met a girl who came to the clinic for prenatal clinic. Maybe she come today because we told them to come here. No? She's only 15 years old with a pregnant, and we found out the HIV infection. And she said she come and work in Thailand, and then she was forced to work as prostitute, and then she escaped. Now she pregnant with the HIV positive. When she come today, and if you're interested, you can interview with her.
มีเรื่องเชี่ยวมีเรื่องที่คนตลาดคนแต่ไม่มองมีมาเรามีแต่คนตกไปชอบที่เชี่ยวนะอันมาเราตีอยู่กันใช่ไหมไม่เราไปชอบที่เชี่ยวนะเชี่ยวเราอยากจะจองยังไงเรากูปัตมาเราไม่พยายามที่จะมาปัตมาจ่ายคุณเนี่ยเราไม่พยายามที่ดีสมาเชี่ยวเนี่ยตาSitman, Yawa Yapi, Namadon Santai,
And how did you get AIDS?
Pama tu la theo the Pamist Kotao Pala the Kito, 2 million the Piotami by the 2 million. Yo see them, I'm see a lot of 2 million management. See new tu baci kami tu tu mau cerita aku oh tu dengan pizza tu buat semua
là ý nè bây giờ còn bên miếu khăn ra là mang chân thì nó hầu như mà mi là đấy à biểu nó thà đi quan đến giang đồ đi là bảo biểu solo suy sửa biểu sửa ý chí của aku khăn xóa ăn cao sa tao đi sao mà nó như mà nó aku khăn là sa tao đi qua sao mẹ nó bây giờ aku sẽ có chắc chắn là nhỉ à mẹ đã đi à nó bị biểu này ta mà là aku khăn xóa cao suy tu bà tu này tu tuổi mà đi đó tu ta suy bị tao mà ra nó như mà nó ta mà là quan đến giang nó yoga aku bị làm ta mà này nó aku sẽ nói là chắc chắn mà là du sura thì đi chơi chơi bây giờ mà nó mà nó du sura đi chơi chơi bây giờ ba mà tuổi giang nó ở đây à cho nó thế là ta mới có sẽ ngồi thà lại có sẽ ngà đi chỉ đâu ngà kia ngà có mình nè nó đi đường nhiều phía lại cái đấy rồi cũng không ăn xí sao bây giờ đi ăn xí xây có thà lại em xây nhiều thà đi nó ba mà đấy đi khu phía đi đó em xí mà số tiền là số xí bút số đi ra bây giờ mà đi xí
There's Bentley Dean in Thailand. Tony.
Yeah, it's a bit of a smack in the face, that one, isn't it? Very kind of bleak old thing, but, you know, life isn't all colour and movement, Richard. And I think he's done a great job in that we do see a really human and universal story. It's interesting that, I mean, I would like to have seen more images, but I guess he did the right way. In fact, I'm just telling that simple story. It's a bit of a bummer that since we only did have that one image, that it was, in fact, the picture wasn't so great, and that, you know, technically. But still, strong film, 15.
OK, Nadia.
There's always a case for staying with your subject when you're speaking about something as poignant as what he's talking about in this film. I did feel that the camera work needed a little more refining, and it would have been even stronger if he had have paid a little more attention to that. But the content is absolutely excellent, and I love the way he arrived at the climax, which is the girl actually saying, "I know my life is over." It was incredibly moving.
Letting 16. Her tell the story. 16,
yeah. 16.
OK, Bob.
Yes, I mean, I agree with all those comments, and it was a good piece of work.
Out of 20, what would you say?
Well, I'd say I'm going to give it about 14, and to me this film sort of raises some of the sort of moral dilemmas that documentary filmmakers are always struggling with. I mean, who benefits from this film? You know, what are the sort of the power relationships involved in a 15-year-old girl telling incredibly intimate details about her life and her suffering? I thought, in a way, everyone was indifferent to her. She was an object. She was made an object. The doctor said, I mean, with one of the great lines, well, we've all got to die sometime. I mean, what a comforting thought. But, I mean, in a way, she had no power here. She was being, in a sense, used. Now, I mean, that's a sort of a moral cavil that filmmakers, particularly non-fiction filmmakers, have to work with all the time. And it just left me feeling a bit worried in some ways about the game that we're in. But 14.
OK. 45 points there for Bentley Dean. Ben Davies, on a different note, is riding into Venezuela this week through rain and wind and weather, hell-bent for leather. He spent a week with the cowboys of Los Llanos, discussing their lives, listening to their thoughts and dreams. Tonight, Ben is paying his respects to the great silent cowboy movies. Ride 'em to Caracas, cowboy Ben. Wahoo!
llanura que tenemos que conocerla. Buenos días, compañeros. Ay, compañero, yo lo vengo a invitarlo. Vamos a amarrar los caballos para ir a pasearlos, para que conozca mi llano, qué bonito mirarlo.
Ya perdí mi juventud por problemas amorosos, he llevado muchas bromas. Casándome yo creía por civil y por la iglesia, conveniente es mi señora, porque a mí siempre me gusta comer antes que otro coma. Uno el hombre se arrepiente 4, 5, 7 años prometiéndole a una novia.
And that was cowboy Ben Davies among the bloated killer hamsters of Venezuela. Bob.
Well, I think this is, it's a good film. He's learnt that the pictures tell more than words do. And he's using subtitles very effectively, the way Kim did in her Mexican film. And like him, he's looking at an exotic sort of a location and family. But in a way, there the comparisons end. I think where Kim sort of penetrates in and we learn something about these people and they come across as individuals, I think here the exotica is a bit surface. And so we're sort of in a way distanced from it. And whereas we become sort of associated with those people that Kim filmed with. Here we're seeing snakes getting whip-crapped and so on. And so I'm giving it 15.
15, okay. Nadia?
I found it an entertaining travel log with very superficial, light exploration of what these people are about. His camera work was good. He showed us a lot of stuff. Visually, it was entertaining, humorous, exotic, never penetrated into depth, and 14.
Okay. Tony?
I'm a very superficial man.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I gave it 17. I thought it was great fun. I loved the whole kind of that cowboy look at it and also the silent film thing. I think, you know, the racers should be out there for 12 months so they can go through every phase of filmmaking. To do the Woody Allen one, they can all just eventually go mad and do John Safran films. And this is, you know, and this is his kind of silent movie thing, and I think it's great. And I really love the, you know, see big ears and Noddy drive the car style of captions was really, really funny, I thought. And I thought we did actually get to know a bit about those people, especially through the music, which was fantastic. And it was a great way to end with that, whatever that animal was. Was it a tapir or something?
It's a capybara, and it's actually a giant guinea pig.
Oh, yeah.
I'm serious, it's a giant guinea pig.
You know too much.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So that gives us 46 points for Ben Davies. Finally, we have John Safran. John's film for this week was to have been a confession booth championship in the churches of Rio de Janeiro. John went to a series of churches and confessed to the sin of kissing a boy at a party. He then awarded points for the number of Hail Marys and Our Fathers the priests gave him for penance. In other words, it was your basic run-of-the-mill bit of Safran provocation. But there was a fatal glitch. John, the bastard, used a hidden camera in the confession booth. After much agonising, ABC management has decided that it would be ethically indefensible to broadcast hidden camera material in this context, and that Stuart Littlemore would probably kick our asses if we did. So, since we're asking for applications for a new series, in its place we're going to show the first part of John's application video instead, the first thing that brought John to our attention. We'd like to remind potential racers that we're not demanding slick, high production quality in a video application. All we demanded last time was that you begin your video with a few seconds of black.
Jeez, I bet you didn't appreciate just how long and tedious 9 minutes can be before you started judging all these videos. Listen, we can beat around the bush, we can be dishonest with each other, but let's cut to the chase. You're going to choose 8 people. You're going to choose 4 boys and 4 girls. You're going to choose 1 Asian. You're going to choose 1 Aboriginal. You're going to choose 2 white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, or else you'll get letters to Backchat telling you the ABC is multiculturalism gone mad. You're going to choose a girl from rural Australia who's sensitive, despite the fact her parents probably have guns buried in their backyard for the upcoming race Armageddon. You're going to choose no one from Melbourne, because let's face it, the ABC is just one big Sydney club, and getting 1 Melbourne guy to ring up the Triple J breakfast show once a week and make a few fleeting references to AFL football isn't fooling anyone down here. You're going to choose a really cute guy who's got a pierced eyebrow or something, so when you send in your PR media kits to TV Week and TV Hits, you can pass him off as some kind of teen idol. And finally, you're going to choose 1 skinny, pale, whiny person. And that's where I fit into the picture. I'd like to nominate myself as your token, skinny, pale, whiny person. And boy, am I qualified. My name is John Safran. I'm 24 years old. I grew up in North Balwyn, a comfortable suburb in Melbourne, but I'll gloss over that because I think for the first time in my life, being middle class won't work in my favour. I now work in advertising, but don't give me that media professionals can't enter this, because I rang up this woman, I think her name is Eloise, and I told her exactly what I did, and I asked her if I could enter, and she said she'd ring me back, and she rang me back, and she said I could enter. But I know what you want from me. You want some kind of ethnic nuance that you can label me with. So, I tell you what I can do for you. I'm clutching at straws, but on my birth certificate, it does say I'm technically Jewish. And whilst I wasn't up in the attic with Anne Frank, and I'm not that religious, I'm willing to fake it for the sake of the TV show. So when you have the first episode and you're showing the slow motion footage of the rural girl driving her tractor and the Asian guy and the 2 white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, and you've got the voiceover saying, "We chose 8 very different Australians from 8 very different backgrounds." You can cut to me, and I'll be wearing the big, furry Jewish hat, I'll have the Jewish side locks, and I'll be eating gefilte fish, and I'll say all those groovy Jewish words like oy vey and bagel. So, as you can see, I'd be perfect. In fact, the only negative I can think of is that I refuse to concede that these overpriced sunglasses that looked so groovy and cutting edge when photographed in black and white in Face magazine actually look quite ridiculous in the context of the real world.
And, of course, we've seen naked pictures of John, so we can confirm that he is Jewish. That was the first part of the application video John sent in all those months ago. The bad news is that because his scheduled story in Rio was not broadcastable, he gets 0 points this week. Go on, he knew the rules. John has always hoped that one day he'd make unbroadcastable television, and now he's succeeded. In a few weeks, we will definitely be broadcasting John's final film, and the good news is, it's coming in from Disneyland. Well, Well, we just took the studio audience vote as we normally do for tonight's films, and the most popular film of the studio audience was from Kim Traill by only a single point. And in the judges' scores, we have Kim Traill on 55 points, Ben Davies on 46, Bentley Dean on 45, and John Safran on the big O, big zero, zilch, nothing, bugger all. Just a reminder that Race Around the World will be back for a new series for 1998, and we are looking for 8 new races. To apply, you must be from 20 to 30 years old and not a media professional. If you'd like an application form or to find out if you're eligible or not, call this number, 1900 155 300. Please, for God's sake, do not call the ABC. That's it for this week. Please thank our judges, Bob Connolly, Nadia Tass and Tony Squires. Coming up next week, Daniel Marsden takes a snapshot of a day on the Tokyo subway, and Claudia Rowe enjoys the intense hospitality of the Syrian people. And stories from Scott Herford and Olivia Rousset as well. Thank you, and as Stuart Littlemore would say, good night to you.
Journey back to the beginning of time and creation, to a time before the first humans walked the earth, and find Mimi, spirit beings that danced on the sacred ground. This is Australia's first Olympic Arts Festival, the Festival of the Dreaming. Relive the magic of some of the best performances of the past 3 weeks in a Songline special, the Festival of the Dreaming, 8:30 Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.